it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Tuesday. Today we're going to talk about closing out battles. What do you do mid to late game? You know I'm against going to a flank and just Mongo rushing no matter what happens without at least considering the rest of the battle and what is happening. We're going to have a situation like that here, so we'll talk about it as we go. I am in the Ju-Nu, which is the Tier 6 Japanese heavy tank, the new line that came out fairly recently. Kind of a standard heavy tank line, vice the old Oho, Oni, Type 4, Type 5 battleship, land battleship thing. These are more standard, although they do have the gun cooling mechanic at the higher tiers. The Tier 6 does not. This is pretty much just a basic Tier 6. Although it does have pretty good stats, it is a really good Tier 6 heavy tank for a tech tree version. Notice I'm using vents, rammer, and IA. I've also got 2 large kits and a fire extinguisher. Not quite try hard, but I do have 20 rounds of the Japanese, which a lot of their tanks tend to have. It's not APCR, but it is an AP. Although let's get going here because I don't know if they call it APCR here or if it's just the AP stuff. Yeah, no, it is APCR. Never mind. In this particular one, we've got actual gold APCR as opposed to a gold / special round AP round. Obviously with this, what that gets you with the APCR fell is if you look at this, see the little asterisk there, depends on the distance. Depends on the distance for the penetration. The APCR loses penetration over distance. That's something important. All right, off we go into the wild blue yonder, heading into the town. We are in Himmels Highway Dorf. Not a bad deployment. We have an M4A1 headed over there to spot for all the snippers. We do have a couple artillery we have to deal with in this game, and I'm going to head on into the heavy area. This map is quite large. The 2 flanks are not connected at all, at least initially. You notice that all of the guys camping on the cap who have shots down to where the M4A1 are cannot affect really at all the city map or the city battle. Really, the only place to do that, to maybe affect both places, is sitting around on the bridge right here at about E9, and of course we lose the first tank. Why not? I've got a good number of heavies coming in here. I am a top tier heavy. I am going to the heavy brawl, so I need to move forward, be a bit aggressive, and try to make some things happen. We'll find out how much that costs me in hit points and stupid moves. Let's find out. We are about to find out. We don't have anybody hanging out back here. You normally do have somebody on the bridge, sort of supporting both directions. We don't have anybody right now. I'm going to be a little bit aggressive here. I'm going to knock that thing down. Get that out of the way. We'll knock this piece down here, and we'll kind of go hold down-ish right here with this rubble and wait to see if we can get somebody to come on in here. Go back to regular AP, and then I get lit, and I did not notice these guys coming around the corner. That is unfortunate. We get away with 2 bounces. This does have some decent armor, and it was a bit angled. So now they know I'm here, and okay, so there's somebody on the corner here. And this is a bit of a crossfire, so I've got to be careful with how I operate right here. HT number 6 just comes out, and bad trade, right? We get nothing out of it, and he slaps us for 200. Nice fast reload here. The HT number 6 is a fast reload. There's the artillery, and I take 2 shots on him. I get nothing out of it. That is a bit disappointing. Unfortunately, with the way this is set up, and you noticed how much of his hull was being shown because of that piece of, I don't know, it's a stairwell that comes out that you can't destroy. He's actually in a better position than I am. I'm exposing a lot of my tank. He's exposing much less, so I'm going to stop doing that. I can tell that he's posted up waiting for me to make a push there again, so let's just stop doing that for a moment. I'm trying to figure out if I can maybe do a side scrape, but I also noticed a guy coming up on the right. He pushes him back. I saw his marker moving, so I was hoping he'd come out, and now unfortunately I'm looking in several directions, and I finally get one back. So the T-150 has them busy. This is giving me some opportunity, but the HT number 6 is in a bad spot for me. And we're a bit outnumbered here. Let's go ahead and count noses. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe 5. Yes, 5. And we have 6, actually. We're doing well here, all right? Sometimes in the heat of battle, when you're in the middle of the match, it's hard to tell, but my priority here is to try to get this HT number 6. If I can get the HT number 6 out of here, try to sneak one in, but don't quite get it. Was really hoping he'd just poke a little bit too far forward. Then we're going to have more opportunities for pushing around these guys and finishing them off. Notice that the other flank is holding for the moment, so everything is fine in terms of positioning. I put one in there, and I finally get that one back. He's busy shooting the 150, which is going to give me another opportunity. I'm really hoping for a track and of course not. Why would I get that? T150 puts a shot on him, and I stand in and eat a shot. It was kind of a straight up trade. Looks like I did worse in that case. That's probably one I wish I hadn't given him, but we ended up getting him dead, which was very nice. So a little bit of teamwork with the T150 works out for us to get rid of the HC number 6. It wasn't perfect for me. I lost some hit points along the way. We're going to knock that wall down so I can see what's going on. And now we're starting to get them trapped. And this is actually a pretty good situation on this map. We're folding around them. This is going to give us shots from multiple directions, and they all seem to be in the middle, although I think there's one maybe further back here. Looking pretty good. Looking at the other flank, it's not going great. I figure that Jackson's not going to last long, but we do have the snippers, so we need to close these guys out. We have an opportunity to do it. We've got guys coming in from multiple directions, putting all kinds of shots on these guys, and we're collapsing this city. We do have to watch out for the artillery. And I'm already thinking, all right, so let's go back to what I talked about at the beginning, right? I'm not a fan of the Mongo rush on a flank once you win, and you need to come up for air. I was pretty invested in this flank down here in the southeast. I'll be honest, I paid somewhat of an attention to what's going on the other flank because I need to start calculating whether I'm going to go back, keep pushing, go to the middle. What is it that I'm going to do? What is my next move after I win the flank? So I've already started doing that. And I'm pausing here and have you guys look at it over here, you know, start thinking about what you might do right here based on what you're seeing. What are we missing? A Nashorn, a Su-100, a T-67, and there's another T-67 that's been spotted, but he's out there. The 267s are fast. The M4A1, pretty good spotting on that. 2 artillery, right? Okay, so keep that in your cranium on what you might do. First thing we have to do is make sure this ends. Come over here. I'm actually dodging from the artillery. That guy right there, I don't know if he was going after me or one of the other guys. I've made my decision. What was yours? Actually, that's not true. I haven't in-game made my decision. My 2020 hindsight decision is made, and this is in my brain. I will tell you, I was thinking this, but I thought if one of these guys pushes, I might get some shots. Now, to be honest, fellas, I sort of wish I'd have just left, and I might have drug a few of these guys with me, but I pushed in, and then look at what we got going on. There goes the T-150. The Cheeto is sitting back. The Skoda. These are the 2 mediums. The T-150, all right, well, good information. As suspected, there's a lot of guys camping back there, and a lot may, actually, honestly, a lot may just be the Su-100 and the Nashorn, but that's enough, isn't it? With the T-67 spotting, even with self-spotting out of those guys, relatively fast reload, very accurate, especially on the Nashorn's part, and the Su-100 hits hard. There's just no reason to push down that flank right now, especially if we consider what's going on up here on this flank. So how do you close games out that are close like this? Well, the first thing you do is you don't just give away hit points for no reason. The T-50 goes first, then the Cheeto goes. He eats every shot known to man. Done, right? Somebody sees him. He's out of the game. I'm out of here. Let's go back to the middle / the cap and try to support. Take a look at the clock. Plenty of time. Actually, I'm going to get a shot here of this guy. Boom. That works. A little bit lucky, but I'll take it. I'm going to try to knock down a building if it's there. I'm not 100% sure if anything's destructible there. Would have been nice to kill this guy here. Just take another stab. All right, let's keep going. I'm a bit surprised that Cheeto is still alive, but he's down low in there. I'm going to keep myself far enough west that I can take support shots. Notice the draw distance circle is just about where the Su-100 is. I want to be very careful, though, about coming too far west here, getting spotted by something that might be down in the bottom, and then being shredded by the Su-100 and the Nashorn. I'm pretty sure the Nashorn's pretty close to the Su-100. Somewhere up there in those buildings and bushes around the cap. He could be all the way on the west side, but I sort of doubt it based on what's going on here. The Su-100, there we go, Type 58 down below. Oh no, so he goes in there, and that's the dude that was spotting everybody more than likely. I got to back out of this thing. The last thing I want to have happen here is have him pop up and over and spot me sitting here. I won't last long against the 2 TDs and the artillery. So this is a bit of a scary moment as I back out of this. I could have spun and run, but I sort of figured I was going to get spotted, and I wanted my front armor against these guys. We find him over there, and he dies. All right, that's great. Excellent. T-30-45 got him. The AT-2 is still alive. That's in our plus column right there. I think he dies relatively soon. So I'm going to move back to that kind of center position I talked about early, which can support both ways. Off here towards the T-67, maybe down the middle for the 30-45, and potentially if the Type and those guys start to push our mediums over there and our M6. So let's just move back here. And this is all with a mind to how do I close this close game out. I stop pushing bad flanks or flanks that are guarded with a lot of open area. We just didn't have a situation where we were ready to push hard towards their cap. Let's talk about this map for just a second. The only time that push is going to be really useful on a close game is if we'd already won the northwest right here and we were up here in these buildings. So once you kind of close, you take 3/4 of this map, then yes, somebody can push across. And it's much easier, by the way, on the west side to push up underneath them because of the positions. This is a really difficult push down this hill if they've got good spotting and they're not being threatened from the northwest. If there's no threat from the northwest, they can bush up, get a spotter, and they're going to shred you coming across this open area right here, and it is just not a good idea. And I will tell you, it is nearly every game on this map is that way. Where there's always the it depends and caveats. One of them is you got a good scout getting up underneath and spotting them, but we didn't have that, did we? There was no scout going across the J or K row over there, or the H row that was going to get underneath them. Quite the contrary, they had a Type 58 down there. Somebody was spotting those guys that all rushed forward and died. So why would you, once you saw the one guy rush forward and die, why on earth would you push forward and do that yourself? I don't know. It's a mid-tier battle game. We don't have fantastic spotting anyway. It really does favor people who have the better position when you're at this tier. We just don't have CBSs and guys with a bunch of burn through, like well over 445 spotting. All the stuff you might see in a tier 8 to 10 battle, you don't have that in this tier. Now, I'm using my draw range circle to sort of keep the Type 58 in the edge of it, and I'm hoping I can get a shot, but he's kind of down low right there. So I want to get forward without getting killed. A little bit dangerous because right now, if you take a look at the vision ring, the white one is starting to touch a few of these positions up on the hill where TDs can be. So I don't want to get spotted and get crushed by guys on the ridge, but you can tell they really have to be forward to see me, so I'm in pretty good shape in terms of pushing forward, and that's part of the calculus in your cranium when you're trying to win these mid to late games like this that are close. Pay attention to where you think they can be and what your approach can be. So while it was a risk, I think it was a slight risk. The 30-45 has come up underneath him finally. Didn't die. I know we need to get rid of this Type 58. This guy is a problem. The Su-100 kills our Type 67. That sucks. And we find the Nashorn here. We'll just sneak forward. Now I'm kind of figuring I might get lit here. I'm just looking for, there we go. That's what I need, is a highlight on this guy. I'm thinking maybe I can get it. Oh no, he makes it forward. Can we sneak one? If he pops out, we'll just throw one in there. The Type 58 is still alive. The other thing you need to think about when you are approaching this, and it really sucks that our two guys pushed and died. They were in great sniper positions for the 30-45 and for me eventually to get in there in the T8 and the AT2 to start lighting these guys and get all kinds of shots. If they'd have just stayed up here in these buildings, would have gone much better for us because we'd have had that flank at least stoppered. Now I don't think they're going to be able to push up that flank, but now it's open, right? If they had a fast tank that wanted to do it, maybe one of the arties sneaks through. I don't know. 30-45 is in a decent spot, but man, it would have been nice if those guys on the flank hadn't pushed and died. But now we're starting to look at how do I approach these camping positions? What's my best avenue of approach where I can move from cover to hard cover to camo, etc., and get up underneath them where they can't see me. And so far, so good for me. The last time the enemy team saw me was over on the other flank. So that's something to take into consideration. They knew I was over there. They killed several guys pushing, they may think that there's still a heavy hanging out in town, and I've completely repositioned. Now, think about this for a second. Is there possibly a way, and ask this question and you can answer it in your own cranium, is there possibly a way the team would know I'm over here? I'm going to say there is. Should be fairly obvious, but think about it for just a second. Got the LEF is being lit. The AT2 is doing some nice work right there. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of support. Neither me or the 3045 are in a position. Got a recovery going on right now. So the LEF gets hit. Good on the AT2, getting some spotting. My concern right now is if I come around this building and there's a Nashorn and a Su-100 in these bushes up in here, I'm screwed, right? I think probably at least the Su-100 has fallen back to where the LEF is, but I also don't know where the bloody Type 58 is. All right, so the Su-100 has moved back. Got it. AT2 dies, but the LEF dies. That'll work. So I'm going to make a run here, and I know I can take at least 3 hits from the Type 58. So if I light him, I might even get a shot on him right here, and I don't see him doing anything, so we keep moving forward. All right. He didn't show up. I'm wondering, all right, does that mean he went up the hill? Did he somehow get up the hill into the backfield? I don't know. But I've got to get up here because I'm one of the last guys with hit points other than artillery. And I figure I'll be able to pop here and maybe see somebody. I'm hoping the 3045 doesn't die. The fact that he's still sitting down in that ravine right there or on that edge makes me feel like maybe the Type's not down there. So very interesting right now. There's the Nashorn. He gets lit by the 3045. So we're going to come on up here and see if we can get a shot on him. I'm going to knock down that building. Getting a reload on. I didn't quite... There we go. I'm going to get lit doing this, but we'll slap him. Probably should have gone to HE, to be honest. Artie takes a shot. He's rocking back and forth. We're going to try to knock down the building. It's going to take a while to knock this thing down. He's got a lot of cover. That is very unfortunate. The Type 58 was, in fact, still down in the pit. So now I've got my work cut out for me. I need to get rid of this Nashorn. I may take a hit doing it, but I got to get rid of him. So let's find this little spot here. Oh, it didn't work. He misses. Fantastic. Now he's sneaking around there. He doesn't know that there's a hole in that spot, and we get rid of him. Look for windows. Look for windows. Now I'm going to back out of this because my next concern is the Type 58. Really what should have happened here from the enemy's perspective is the 58 and the Su-100 should have come in and pincered me. And if they could have both started shooting me, the Su-100 from above, where I'm just not going to be able to climb that hill and get to him, as long as he's careful with it, and the Type 58 come around this corner, shoot me from another direction. And that's why I'm just going to push into the Type 58. As opposed to try to crawl up on the hill where the Artie can get me as well, I'm going to just come around here and see if I can find the 58. And there he is. So fantastic. He came that way, and it looks like maybe the Su-100 did not. But just in case he's going to come around this corner and peek-a-boom at me, I'm going to go right around this little edge here, and I have 2 choices from here, fellas. We're down to 2 minutes, though, so I don't have a lot of time to make a decision. I either go over here and go up this ramp, and that's the last direction I was going, or I turn back around and go up the middle ramp. So I'm going to give a little head fake this way, and then we're going to turn around. A little bit dangerous, maybe, based on the amount of time that I have left. The other possibility here is that the Su-100 was charging hard this way and maybe just committed. So I might find him right here, which he does not show up. And that is now starting to make me believe that the Su-100 is very passive, right? So he didn't show up, he didn't charge hard, didn't look like he came in there to try to help the Type 58. I think he's just going to be happy to sit in the back there somewhere and hang out. I had 2 choices. I'm pretty sure with this thing's engine, I don't know if we can get up through here anymore, to be honest. So I chose this way. You guys can let me know if the other path over here is even doable for a tank like this. I know I can make this one, so this is the climb I decide to make. Good news, the LEF being dead. Now I'm only dealing with the HMC and the Su-100, and I actually catch this guy out right about now or so. Holy cow, look at that. Oh, sweet. So we'll just shoot him. Nope. Gonna miss. Great. And he finds some cover, so good on him. So we'll wait here. All right, maybe my artillery up. We'll kill this guy right here. Nope. Okay. Thank goodness he didn't find a shot on me, fellas. I'm going to keep closing in here and make this a little difficult. And finally, we get rid of that guy. I had the 2 artillery. They're both taking shots at him and did not hit. And holy cow, what a bummer now. It's been a while since the 3045M died, and I'm just really hoping that we have a standard artillery player who's just going to sit and hope for the best and not push across the K row at the bottom of the map, on the south part of the map, and get away. 51 seconds. We've got 2,300 damage. Do I go to HE? I don't think I do. Just going to go with the APCR right here. Come around the corner. Man, I hope he's in this corner. Somebody tell me the good news. Where is this guy? No, he's not here. Oh, he is there. All right, fantastic. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Boom. Oh, okay. 230. He fires and misses. Fantastic. I had a kit if he did, and we kill him off. 4 kills, 2,612 damage, no assist. A breakdown of mid to late game decision making, how to close out games that are close, what not to do in terms of pushing flanks where you don't have the requisite situation set up, right? The conditions were not met, as they say. Some of you may have heard that before. There's lots of ways to say that in different industries, military, etc. But the conditions were not set for the push early in the game across the K and J rows down there, and we lost a bunch of guys, a bunch of tanks and hit points, just mindlessly pushing. Yes, you do have to get somebody in there to spot the defenders, but at the moment they did that, that was not a great way to do it. The AT2 did some yeoman's work over there. Nice job collapsing the northwest of the map into about that position I was talking about here in this village along the E column, or the E row over here. That's what needed to happen. Before we start pushing in from both directions, and then once you get a light, you've got crossfires, and then they don't have a lot of options. This map is really easy to defend from one direction. It is very difficult to defend if you've got people with shots from both directions. So if you tuck up underneath and you get up here into the town and you can push from both ways, it's very hard to defend. But if they hang out here and only one direction is pushing, especially if you don't have any spotters up underneath, you're just driving along this big open area down here, you're going to get shredded like my team did right there. All right, there you go. Let me know what you guys think. That's all I've got for today. Have a good one. See ya.